Okay. Hi. Oh, you get me there in the side. Nice. I kind of don't really need my face. There we go. You just get my voice. Hi, and welcome to Communicating with Love. I really hope you enjoy this training as much as I have enjoyed pulling it together. So let's get started because there's a bit of stuff to go through. Great. So, welcome. So, I'm going to go through who I am just really quickly. Communication 101, how to argue with love, respond with love, and support with love. So, I'll go through it quite quickly because you do get this training, the replay, so you can obviously go through it at your own pace as well. So just quickly, who am I? My name is Lauren Blundell. I'm a relationship and intimacy coach. I'm based in Sydney, Australia. I'm a coach, writer, speaker, and geek for all things love, sex, and relationships. So communication 101. We communicate to understand our reality and understand each other. We communicate to create intimacy. We communicate to learn, grow, and connect with our environment. However, all communication is not made equal, and men and women are wired differently for communication. So communicating, basically, the words that we actually speak is quite a low percentage of the overall percentage of what makes up communication. So our tone and our voice and our body language actually makes up a far greater percentage than our words. So you probably have heard of the saying, "It's not what you said, honey, it's how you said it." So that definitely rings true here, that your tone and your voice and your body language do play a massive role in it. And that's why, and you've probably found this, that text messaging and emails can get lost in translation because you can't get tone of voice and tonality from an email, and you definitely can't usually see someone's body language. So that's why I always say in my coaching sessions, like, if you have a problem or you just want to have a conversation with someone, like, your best option, first option, is to have a face-to-face conversation with them. Second best from that is picking up the phone and having a phone call. I love phone chats, especially if I'm dating someone and wanting to get to know someone. I want to hear their voice. I want to hear their tonality. I want to hear, the inclinations and, if they're cheeky or if they're not, if they're being serious right now. I want to hear all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely beneficial having face-to-face or over the phone. So men and women are wired differently for communication. So women are wired in a diffused sense, and we are wired in a diffused sense for communication, our awareness, and sexually, okay? So from a communication point of view, because that's what we're talking about today, women can have a range of different conversations or talk about a range of different topics in the one breath or in the one conversation, right? So we can think about many different things at one time, and we can talk about many different things at one time. So we are different in that respect. To men, men are very linear. If you think of a man's body, kind of up and down, right? A woman, we're more curvaceous, okay? So men are wired for communication, their awareness, and sexually, they are wired in a linear fashion, so straight up and down, right? So men are very, they want to talk about one topic at a time. They get quite, and can get quite flustered, and I'm saying this in a general sense. They can get quite flustered if there's too many things going on at one time. That's why also, if you walk into a room and your partner is sitting there and he's watching the television, it pays to be aware that men are very linear in their awareness as well. So if you want to have a conversation with your partner, walk into the room, ask him, can you have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of his time, and wait for him to transition out of watching the television and focusing on you. Because if you walk into the bedroom or you walk into the lounge room or whatever, and you're like, hey babe, blah, 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 and then he doesn't actually respond and he keeps on watching the television, and then you get frustrated because you think he's not listening to you and doesn't care, and then you start creating stories in your minds like he doesn't love you enough, but really he just hasn't transitioned out of his awareness from the television to yourself to talk about the topic that you want to talk about. So it's really important to understand that in both sexes, and and have awareness around that when you're talking. So if you are talking to your guy, perhaps just talk about one thing at one time. And guys, when you are talking to your woman, please ask her just to stick on one topic at one time. You know, have that awareness about yourself to allow communication to be easy between the two of you, because it is both your responsibility to show up, understand yourself more and deeply, and have self-mastery, have self-awareness, and be able to use that awareness and that mastery to create a more intimate container between the two of you. Yeah? So, arguing with love. So, okay, arguments are normal. They happen. They happen in every relationship. They happen in the best relationships. Arguments, to me, and this is what I love to tell my clients, people get so scared when you argue with your partner because they think, oh shit, you know, like we're kind of in a really sticky spot. Arguments are good. See arguments as a gift. See disagreements and discussions, heated discussions, as a gift. It's a gift for you to really understand each other more and create more intimacy and co-create in that moment, right? Because arguments are really just a clash of your realities. So you're arguing usually because your beliefs or your realities are not aligned. Your values and his values are not matching up. So then you're creating an argument around it because you're both trying to get your opinions across to the other person because you both think you're right. That's generally how an argument happens, and where an argument really kind of comes from a subconscious level. So what I usually like to say to clients is become really fucking curious about your partner. Okay, babe, you believe something different to me. You know, tell me about your belief. Tell me about how that works for you. Tell me, how does that, you know, help you in your life? Let me understand you at a greater depth, instead of trying to tell him or tell her that she's wrong, that you're always right. You know, you're both so individual. You're both coming from your own realities, your own experiences, and your own triggers, your own pasts, and you're coming together and getting into this container called relationship. So there's going to be some miscommunication. And there's something that I've read actually recently that is, you need to assume that miscommunication is going to happen more than the understanding of each other. I think, I can't remember the percentage, but I think it's like 90% of communication is misunderstood. So if we go into communicating like that and approach communication with the fact that this person's probably going to misunderstand me, then we're going to become more calm, we're going to be more patient, and we're going to want to allow understanding. You know, we're going to approach the situation with, okay, this person's probably going to misunderstand me for whatever reason. It doesn't make it right or wrong. They're not right or wrong. There's nothing wrong with anyone in these situations. It's just how we are, right? So if you assume that, then the way that you communicate will become so much different. So the three things that I usually like to say to people and my clients when they are arguing is like three things to keep in mind. So firstly, when you're starting to argue and you're starting to feel the tension build between the two of you and things are maybe getting a little bit heated and a little bit out of hand, I want you guys to stop. I want you to calm down and have maybe even a safe word, like back the truck up, like something that's kind of a little crazy, a little weird, like, you know, go feed the dog a sausage. I don't know. But something that kind of will break your state, right? And will both make you go, all right, yeah, we're getting way too heated right now. Let's take 20. Let's, you know, go to our corners. Like maybe you go for a walk, maybe he goes to the garage, maybe he goes outside, whatever, but have some time away from each other and calm down, because you're getting into your flight or fight nervous system, so the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's not a great place to really try and find a solution from. All right. So secondly, all right, so you are going into your flight or fight at this stage, so you need to calm down. So when you've actually moved away from each other, You need to breathe deeply into your belly, and that's how you will calm your nervous system. That's how you will calm your heart rate, your blood pressure, you'll chill out. And I just want you to tell yourself that you love yourself, like you're okay, all right? You are safe and you can trust yourself, and you guys will find a solution. And it's okay to be wrong and have differences, all right? It's okay to come from two different perspectives. I think that that is really beautiful when two people can come together and they can really talk about their views of the world. A lot of the time we grow up and we think that we have to marry and be with someone who's complete samesies to us, and how fucking boring is that conversation if that's the way. Tell me exactly how you think about something that's completely different, or you agree to disagree with me. I think that is really cool in terms of conversation, but also really cool when two people can appreciate that in the other person. Yeah, so calming the nervous system and heart rate down. So working on your mindset once you're away from them as well. So it's not them versus you. Yeah, this is big, because I think a lot, I know a lot of time in relationship, people argue and it becomes a you versus them mindset, and it becomes a competition, and it becomes now like war, like I have to tear this person down, and then all of a sudden you're at war with your partner, you're at war with the person that you love. And I want you to reframe all of that in your mind. I want you to change the way that you see the argument, that, yeah, okay, this has come up and it's not ideal, but let's get into a growth mindset and find a solution, right? So you need a mindset of love, compassion, and curiosity. Curiosity is key here, guys. And remember, you are together and you are a team. You're not competitors, all right? You're not against each other. So thirdly, once you've calmed down, you come back and you reconnect. And you love each other, however you choose to love each other. Give each other a cuddle. Apologize for the way things went down and maybe got a little bit out of hand, and commit to a solution, right? But how you commit to a solution is allowing one person to go first and the other person holds space for that person. So holding space means you shut up, right? And you allow that person to speak and you do not talk, right? You do not impose your opinion or your thought process or anything. You do not speak over the top of them. You let them express themselves, and you hold space with love and curiosity for where the fuck they're coming from. Okay, and then they will do that for you. And then what you do is, okay, great, thank you for sharing that with me, babe. I'm so glad that now I understand you at a deeper level, but let's work at how is this going to be different next time. Okay, and that's what I've said. Discuss how would you like this to be different next time. How can we communicate better next time? And then find the solution to the problem that you were initially arguing about. And remember, no judgment, right? So when your partner is expressing their view to you, you do not judge. Judge is the ego thinking still that you're in the right and they're in the wrong. Don't fucking judge them, all right? They're being vulnerable with you and telling you and expressing to you and showing you their vulnerability, their map of reality, how they view the world. No one's right or wrong right now, right? So you need to lead with love here. Be curious about your partner and allow them to be who they are and accept them. And if you're finding it hard, then whilst they're chatting, just look at them with love and just say, I love you and I accept you, and I accept you exactly the way that you are. You do not have to agree, but you need to accept your partner, because that's how you have a loving relationship, and respect them. And lastly, to cut through the noise, so I put here the fear and ask, what are you fearful of? And that's a really, really great question to always ask either of your partners. If someone gets really, really emotional when chatting, discussing, or having an argument, you can always ask the partner, like, what are you fearful of here? Because generally, emotions get heightened because one partner or both partners are fearful that they're not going to be enough, or fearful that you're going to reject them, or fearful of something else. So if someone's really worked themselves up into a bit of a tizzy and quite emotional, ask them, like, what are you fearful of, babe? You know, what's on your mind here? What are you worried about here? What are you afraid is going to happen? Because I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. Okay? And reiterate that to your partner. Respond with love. Okay, attachment theory. May have discussed this a couple of times with some couples, but okay, so attachment theory is based on the love we receive as a child. Inner child work is a lot of what I do with my clients, and because it is when we are between the ages of 4 and 7 that we experience events that we create meaning around. So, and then we create beliefs. So something will happen when we're really young, and usually it's negative, and we create a belief around that event that usually at a subconscious level, we don't believe that we are good enough, or that we are worthy enough, or that we are lovable. Okay, and then we act out in our adult lives based on that belief that we created when we were 4 or 7, between 4 and 7. So basically, a lot of people, and this is like the world over, this is global. People come and work with me, and they're still operating from childhood belief systems. So what I do is go into the childhood belief system, and we reframe it, and we clear that belief and create a better belief. Because the thing is, beliefs are just convenient shit that we make up about our reality because we're trying to learn about our reality when we're little. So if we can create a limiting belief when we're that young about something that it really usually has nothing to do with us, but because we're so young and everything is about our identity and how the world perceives us, we make everything mean something about us, right? So if we can make these types of beliefs that are not working for us, then we can clear them, and we can make more empowering beliefs that will serve us and create the life that we are looking to live, and create the love and the relationship that we are looking to experience. So in relationship, we have bits for connection. We send out signals to partners, and our partner responds, allowing us to stay calm and relaxed, knowing that our partner is there for us. When we send out signals and is met with either an against or away response, our sympathetic nervous system is engaged, and we either anxiously try to create a connection, becoming needy and overly clingy, or we become avoidant. So we will withdraw in order to save ourselves and save ourselves from rejection. So a research study that followed 168 couples for 13 years discovered that the number one predictor of why couples split was not how often a couple fought, but how little affection or emotional responsiveness they offered one another. Additional research validates that relationship distress was predicted by a partner who was unsupportive in their response, by minimizing a problem, not wanting feelings to be expressed, offering unhelpful advice, and insisting on their partner using that advice. In contrast, quality emotional support, such as reassurance of feelings and seeking to solve the problem together, was a predictor of healthy relationships. So, turning against. So there's 3 different types of ways that you can respond to your partner, and we're going to go through them now. So turning against is the first one. So partner 1 brings up an issue. Partner 2 doesn't think it's a problem and criticizes partner 1 for bringing it up. So partner 1 escalates the issue by saying hurtful things back. Partner 2 retaliates with more hurtful things. The conflict escalates out of control. During the conflict, both partners feel misunderstood. In the end, both feel frustrated because they are disconnected and the issue remains unresolved. You might resonate with that, maybe not. So the second way of responding to your partner is by turning away. So partner 1 brings up an issue, partner 2 doesn't think it's a problem and doesn't respond at all. Partner 1 gets angry in a way to get partner 2 to pay attention to the problem. Partner 2 still acts like nothing is wrong. To try and get partner 2's attention, partner 1 gets meaner and says hurtful things. Partner 2 shuts down even more, and around and around. Still, nothing is resolved. So turning towards. So this is the most ideal way of responding to your love, right? Partner one brings up an issue. Partner two listens and seeks to understand. Partner two may not agree with everything partner one is saying, but partner two seeks to find some basis for agreement. As a result, partner one feels heard and respected. Despite not always being agreed with, partner one feels this way, they avoid being hurtful. Both partners feel both partners fight respectfully and share their feelings openly, putting them in a better position to find a compromise that works for them. Their relationship improves as a result of conflict. When partner two was responsive, it de-escalates conflict and led to a win-win solution for both partners. And it de-escalates the parasympathetic nervous system. So partner one is not in the fight or flight because their bid for connection is being received with emotional support. So I trust that helps paint a picture on 3 different ways that you can respond to your partner. However, turning towards is responding with love. So support with love. So independence. So I wrote a post on this recently about independence and interdependence and how I'm getting a little bit worried with the whole personal development industry because it's all about us managing ourselves and having self-mastery and blah, 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 which is so important because so many of us are projecting our shit onto our partner and making it their responsibility to make us feel loved and cared for. But interdependence, a relationship that is based on 2 interdependent people is kind of like this. It's like, I take care of me, you take care of you. I will work on me. You can't make me happy, only I can make me happy. A couple who are independent of each other will work like flatmates. They will be more concerned with their self than their relationship and the health of their relationship. These partners don't create a sense of security within the relationship because they're pretty much always just worried about themselves. Interdependence, though, is like this. I take care of me and I take care of our relationship. I will work on me for me and our relationship. I love it when you support me through this growth. I make me happy and you make me happy. A couple who are interdependent work together to support each other's insecurities. They won't fix each other, however, support with love. They have created a sense of security within their relationship. So how to create, a interdependent, supportive environment within your relationship is by creating what's called a couple bubble. So a couple bubble is a protective layer around the relationship, according to psychologist Stan Tunkin. And he has an amazing book called Wired for Love, if you are interested. I've put it at the bottom of these slides. That the couple has formed with each other. It's an agreement, spoken or unspoken, that puts the relationship first. Each partner puts the other's well-being, self-esteem, and vulnerabilities first. This is a big commitment. It's an overwhelming commitment if you pride yourself on your independence. But it is this fear of commitment that holds us back. So many of us want to pick our partners like we order burgers at a restaurant. Please hold the tomatoes and onions, but that's not a relationship, that's food. For example, you would both have an agreement. So this is like how you would create a couple bubble. I will soothe you even if I am the one who hurts you. There are no secrets. There is no cheating, lying, or dishonesty. So there's a couple of things that you could put in your couple bubble, but I'll leave it up to you. I mean, it's a great opportunity to have a really open conversation about how and what you are creating, because you've got to remember, guys, you guys are co-creating this life together. You know, your relationship is based on your rules. No one else has rules for a relationship. We think that there is this global rule book, but there really isn't. So it's up to you guys to create how you want to live together and co-create together and love together and have this container called relationship. So holding off committing to your partner in order to protect yourself only blocks yourself. Brené Brown once said, vulnerability is the first thing I see in you and the last thing I'll show you. So be courageous. Open your heart and let your partner within your walls. And when problems arise, like they always do, use those problems to bring you closer. Use them to understand your partner so you can grow together. If you do, you'll quickly realize that what may make you feel safe and secure may not be what your partner needs. Your job in the couple bubble is to learn what matters to your partner and how you can make them feel safe and secure in the relationship. This also means showing up fully, acting in an anxious manner without being vulnerable about what you need, or only putting one foot in while you keep one foot out undermines the security of a relationship. And if I haven't gone through the 6 core needs of a relationship and of humans, please remind me to do so in our sessions so you can create this at a deeper level. A healthy relationship is not about independence. It is not codependency either. Codependent partners ignore their own needs and wants, thus filling the bubble with resentment and emotional distress. It's about interdependence. It's about having the capacity to be your own person while also having the capacity for your partner's well-being. One without the other is just a cover-up insecurity. Your couple bubble allows you to rely on one another and share your vulnerabilities. The bubble is your foundation of support and protection. Sometimes this means taking steps ahead of time, so both of you could hold hands through the stressful events of life. Love is about working together, guys, not about your partner working to only meet your needs. And there you go. That's the training. Thank you for listening, and I hope it's been helpful. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, and I will see you all soon. Love you. Bye.